So, the magnetic system, hold on. The magnetic system for the chin strap is really cool, interesting, and awesome for this bike helmet because, sorry, I got so much hair. It just snaps in place. So, you have a magnet that when these are just close to each other, right, automatically aligns fully, and it pulls, the latch into place through magnetism. So now it's like absolutely not coming apart. And then to dislodge the latch is just the slightest effort to overcome that magnetism by pulling on this little string. So that's a really brilliant design. And I think, if it's not being used on other helmets, it definitely should be. The rest of the helmet, I don't know while recording this video if I'm going to give 4 stars or 5 stars, because there is one issue that I think could be a big issue for the company, leading to potentially like returns or bad ratings. I have a background in mechanical maintenance and repair, so I was able to overcome it no problem. But when this helmet is shipped to you, the visor is not installed. Without the visor, the helmet looks a little funky because it's designed to look sleek with the visor installed, right? And so what's the problem? If you look at the plastic, it might not come across on video the best, but yeah, you can kind of see there's like a gap here. The sleek situation there comes out of it touching here, and so like it's putting pressure on these screws. You have to unscrew these screws, take the visor. When it's shipped, the visor comes in here. Take the visor out, put it on here, but it's not like a super great fit. So this is like a, I don't know what you call it, like a nipple or something that has to be pushed in with, a decent force. And then you have to align the plastic, which it's not like, snapping in place or anything. It's actually touching in many areas. And so you have to like push it manipulate it into place to then take this little thumb screw by hand. And what I usually do is go backwards till I feel the thread from the bolts or screw or what have you, the fastener. That thread unlap against the thread of the receiving bit, and then I'll start turning clockwise to tighten, and that prevents any type of cross-threading, usually. Now, the issue here is that it's under such tension, which may be intentional. It may be part of the design to make sure that these screws don't, come out through vibration. But what that ends up meaning is you have such tension while you're tightening it down. If it is misaligned, then you start cross-threading that and you don't know it, because there's so much tension being put up against that right from the beginning. And so I was able to get this side in, no problems, besides the difficulties as explained. But then this side ended up cross-threading that, the threads a little bit on the thumb screw or bolt. And so then I ended up having to take that out and then try it on the threads, without the plastic in between, and it just wasn't happening. So I ended up taking this side thumb screw, using it on this side, and then cleaning the threads up manually, and then getting it in this side without the visor in between, and making sure that it thread in fine. And then carefully I tried again, and I was able to install it just fine. So everything is secure, nothing is wiggly, but it was. And, so I could see a lot of other people not having the mechanical knowledge or skill and inadvertently screwing it up and having an issue, and then that's creating a customer complaint, or a complaint against the quality of the product. And, you know, I don't understand the design principles at play and why that decision was made for these parts not to line up super flush and to have that pressure built in. Like I said, it could be intentional, but I think there needs to be a better way to go about this situation, because for me, you know, it's like a 5-star product, but I think it might end up becoming an issue with others. So I'm not sure if I'm going to give it 4 or 5 stars because of that. There's a few other things. I mean, normally I wouldn't say the other little things would add up to ding it down to 4 necessarily, but, you know, I'm really trying to decide. So the rest of the helmet, the padding is a bit thinner and attached just through Velcro dots. That, you know, my helmet's like 15 years old or something, so I don't know what current helmets are, you know, like. The ratcheting system, it goes in quite a ways and then out. This is a large. I was right at, this is another thing, like I measured my head and I was right at the in-between, medium and large. I'm glad I got large because I don't think anyone with a bigger head, you know, would be able to fit in this. I think the large is possibly closer to like a medium. The medium's like closer to a small, but like I said, you know, my helmet's super old. I don't know what other companies are doing, but that's another consideration, is when in doubt, definitely go, you know, larger, because I'm having to use this sucker all the way backed out and then barely cinch it down. The left and right seems a little looser. Like, it seems, I don't know, I think our heads are kind of usually more slightly ovalish, right? And it feels like this helmet is kind of more circle-ish. So there's a little bit more room on the left and right. I don't know if there's anything else to add in particular. It does leave fingerprints on it a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot of air holes, so it should be super breathable. And I think the whole system for the chin strap and everything is pretty brilliant. I was able to put it on my head, get all the, you know, straps to the right spots and everything figured out pretty quick and easy. The only issue is regarding to practice, putting it on and taking it off with my hair as part of the equation. So the more I practice, the better I'll get at that. With my other helmet, you know, move all my hair to one side for a couple different reasons. Not just the strap, which you're seeing me, but I use glasses with a rear view mirror on this side. And so that's why I need the hair out of my way. But yeah, so that's that.